Today, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led out by the former Sun Devil, their rookie quarterback out of Arizona State.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Now the veteran workhorse. Here's James Conner. And Conner going to pick up a Cardinals first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. Very, very strong. Well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you're riding the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Escaping the pressure right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. They run behind center with Conner. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Yaya Diaby, he's the one who got in there. He gets the sack. Here's second and 10. Conner up the middle. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. They stay on the ground. Here's Conner again. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Ready, 53.
On first down, it's Benson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Brissett throwing quickly to Wilson. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And the Cardinals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll look to throw here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cards are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here. And I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Third and 19. To throw, Mayfield. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the return will stop right around the 25. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Here we go, set. 60 red. 60 red.
They run over center with Benson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. A give up the middle with Benson. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2nd and 6. Dancing to his left. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Amari DiMercato, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are able to add on to that lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now 3rd down and very long. Mayfield to throw it. This is caught by McMillan. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken right around the 44. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. James Conner and the Cardinal offense ready to get back to work. And a week ago, as you get a look at the numbers, well over 100 yards, he was on fire.
He was on fire. Obviously, the offensive line was on fire, all the guys who were trying to assist him. But you know who else was? The play caller. Because his ego totally got out of the way, and he kept calling the plays that were working over and over, and they really didn't stop him.
Now the challenge, can they duplicate it? 55 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 3. Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. Here's a handoff to Conner. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Trey McBride, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
They spent the week at practice, and we know our rating's not that great. And we know we're facing the #1 passing team in the league. But there are some things that we can do to give ourselves a chance in this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Yaya Diaby. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 7 catches, 74 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And a catch right side by Evans. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long?
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Bucs will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Mayfield looks to throw. They'll find McMillan here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2nd down and 6 now. Now back to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
On 2nd down, a run with Benson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. 2nd and 4. Able to get this one to McBride. And they'll get this down to the 10. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5. On the handoff, Connor. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
A try here for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. That time a 9-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now Mayfield. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and they're just steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
And he's going to be dumped there, but he does have a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Baker going to give it to Irving. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. The danger of a punt that good? A 16-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. James Conner and the Cardinal offense ready to get back to work. He had the touchdown last drive, now up over 1,300 yards on the season, and still plenty of time in this game for him to keep those numbers climbing.
And I like the fact that it's a number that you're not worried about protecting. Because if you're trying to get around, if you're trying to get over 1,000 yards, you get a little nervous, right? At this point of the season, you have a few losses. Now you're back below 1,000. Here, you're just trying to climb a big-time total even higher.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Yaya Diaby able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got McBride here over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. A give running right is Connor. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 84 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll look to throw. Flush, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Cardinals are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You've got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a route is on here in this 1st half. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. A run up the middle with Irving. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
On 2nd down, Irving. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Mayfield. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Over the middle to Evans. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Two minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this 1st half of action. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 33. They'll run the draw with Irving. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Mayfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
3rd and long for Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And quickly, they get to the line. Second and 2. Pass complete there to Harrison. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first.
Here we go. 52 blue.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down. Back to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
That is caught. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well.
Yellow, 22, Skrill green. Ready, go.
Back to throw again. Leaping, and he makes the grab. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And from here, might not be able to take a knee, might need to run a play here this close to their goal line. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll start up at TIAA Bank Stadium in Jacksonville. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, we head east to check on the Bills at home in Buffalo. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Chuba Hubbard, over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home in Acrisure Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. George Pickens, a touchdown reception. We watched the veteran James Conner put together a very solid first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leading the Buccaneer offense out for another series. And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
They run out of the gun with Irving. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. 2nd
and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 44-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll try and run here with Irving. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Straight ahead, it's Irving. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he's going to have to eat get this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways.
They're going to look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his left. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Back to throw here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Rasul Douglas picks it. Still going inside the 20. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Forced out to his left. And Wilson with it, complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Bucs will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Second and long. This one deep for Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Flushed out right. And my goodness, another interception. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 41. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Mayfield now on second down. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Here's a handoff to Irving. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And Connor going to pick up a Cardinals 1st down as he'll get this across the 50 to the 49. They'll set up to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Yaya Diaby. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll look to throw here. And this will be swung out here for Connor. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Caught that one from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Buying time to his left. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's McBride. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Connor. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. Being chased, Evelyn. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. They go play action. Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On the handoff, this is Irving. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. From the 20, here's the second down and 9. Mayfield to throw it. This is caught by McMillan. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards there for number 15. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Second and 10. He'll drop to throw. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and forever. And the pressure gets to him again. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Back to throw now on first down. And he rifles one incomplete.
The fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing
and down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. And now they're in the hurry-up. This shot downfield on second down is brought in. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On first and 10 is Counter. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver.
And the Cardinals are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal.
He'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
That's to McBride, and he has it. Touchdown, Cardinals.
A 1-yard touchdown pass.
And the Cardinals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And he'll wisely just take it. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Mayfield looks to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Another run here with Benson. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this is going to be a Cardinals 1st down as he'll get this up to the 25.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left. And they'll send the tight end in motion. The give is to DeMercado, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8.
To throw is Brissett. Goes right back to McBride. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
That good for 19 and a 1st down. This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
In motion right is Wilson.
They'll get it here on the jet sweep.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it.
That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing. Brissett. Able to get this one to McBride. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, a run with Benson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Now the try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Bucs ready to take over once again. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Spinning away. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. A gain of 3, 2nd down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Throw left side complete. That's Benson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Benson.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. But that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield down. Now the ball comes loose, and this is recovered by the Cardinals.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll start on the ground with Benson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Benson. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. On first down, it's Benson. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Arizona, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.